Good morning, and this is Lord Holland with another replay from WetPaws here. It is Augusta Parseval, like I mentioned in my Shikaku video. Now he is on Operation Narai. Last time we saw Paws on this map was in a Kaga. Let's see how he can, if he can beat 100 and what was the Kaga match was 100 and like almost 80,000 damage. Let's see if he can beat that in the Augusta. Now the bombers on the Augusta are its bread and butter, and its AP rockets. The torps are just meh. They're mostly for hitting DDs. Lining up the strike, real good. Ooh, double citadel for 16,000. Not bad. Not bad for an opening strike. It's unfortunate that the battleships will probably take the rest of their health of that New York away from WetPaws. He only gets one battleship though, the Massachusetts, but that is more than enough. Looks like the Massachusetts did shoot at the Emil go down, and I'm pretty sure the New York is going to follow suit. Yep, there's the shots on the New York. Doesn't get any. He does get a torp on the Nicholas. Let's see if the MASH kills off that New York. MASH is taking a very interesting position. I think he knows torps are coming in, and Paws does pick up the Nicholas, so Mass isn't going to have to worry about torps. New York should die right here. Nope, doesn't die. Yep, there goes the Mass picking up the New York. Mahan just spits out torps. He really should have. If you're in a DD and you really want to try and get some damage on this map, the best recommended routes, transports, and CV. When it was tier 6, you used to be able to go in and YOLO torp the Missouri, but that's usually taken care of by battleships now. Paz tries to dive bomb the Leander, but the bombs just don't do their job. He's going to go for the Farragut, though. I think he knows that the battleships will, or his battleship will kill. And the Mass is in a really good position. He's going bow in. He's going to use his secondaries. I don't think those will arm, though. Nope. They do, yeah, they don't arm, and the Farragut just goes right through them. Unfortunate. Looks like the Mass is just using his secondaries and is definitely focusing down that Queen Elizabeth. Mass picks up the Farragut. Now his secondaries can go all in on that Queen Elizabeth. Pretty sure I think Mass might get it here before. Nope, Baltimore gets it by fire just before Paz gets his bombers off. It does look like the Massachusetts is going to go for the transports. Unconventional. And we have the Hipper and the Shamanto going for the CV. So they should be able to complete that objective. Now, the only way this works is if the Mahan torps that battleship. And they do have, I think, let me see. So that will leave the Helena and the Baltimore to kind of help protect the transports, along with Paws. Looks, and there goes the Mahan just kind of spitting out torps. Those aren't going to do much. If the cruisers kill the Dallas, so it's kind of like, very poor on that Mahan. I'm not trying to badmouth them. I'm just stating that there's really no point to launch torps, especially when you've got like a 2-minute reload. You've got to really pick your targets when you're a DD on these maps. Helena picks up the Dahlias. Does get some good damage on that Leander, though. Don't know if he's going to get that. Nope. Baltimore gets it. And there the Mahan is just spitting torps out at this point. He's just spitting torps out, folks. They're not really aimed well. So it's really sad on the Mahan. I'm sorry for going after you, Mahan, but you really should be focusing on that Missouri. That Missouri is your primary target. When you've got all your ships kind of, when your only battleship that could steal your damage is gone, your other torp cruisers are up north. That's your damage right there. That's all your damage, Mahan. Is that battleship? That's at least, if you were to rush that thing, you could possibly get 60,000 on that Missouri. Little trouble here. You might die, but you would probably save, get a few compliments. Mahan is trying to move into position now, but it does look like the Missouri's guns are looking at him. Paws does get a nice salvo in on that. Yep, there goes the torps from the Mahan. Let's hope the Missouri kind of turns into him, like as he turns. It's hard to tell. I can't really see those torps out of it. It does get a torp hit on it. Paws gets 2 torps. I think the Mahan is going to kill it here. 1, 2. Oh, just shy. And Baltimore does pick it up. So congrats, Mahan. You did put some torps on that guy and get him down just enough. Just enough. Now, if you were a DD, you could have gone wide, kind of like everyone goes along that around E7, a little bit higher, and you could have torped that thing basically broadside. Mass does pick up the transport. Looks like Paws here is going to go for that. No, he's going to go for the transport. Oh, he's putting a spotter plane over it for the mass. That's kudos for him for doing that. Now those rockets are just going to bounce off that Cleveland. And up right there, 4 ricochets. He does get a nice little hit on it. There's really no point for him to go in on the DD. He can try. Mahan shooting his torps instead of using the guns. Okay, and I think Mahan might die from these torps. Oh, he does get the wakeful with his secondaries. Ironic. And Mahan, yep, Mahan does die to torps. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Oh, interesting. So the Mahan and the Mass are actually in the same clan. Okay. Maybe they know each other. I'm not worried about Paws at this point. We know his secondaries hit the wakeful. I'm pretty sure he can weather that Cleveland. He's trying to get that broadside. Congrats on the Mass for getting the truck among shrimps. Not an easy medal to get these days, considering that most people try to steal one transport, so most people don't get the medal. That might be a good salvo right there. He might get a good... Oh! That don't look good. That really don't look good. Oh! This might be bad. Very bad. Oh! Oh! And Paws just goes squeezes right by him, right by that Cleveland. And the Baltimore is trying to help. Baltimore is doing a phenomenal job. Great job, Baltimore. Protecting the transports. Come on, secondaries, get that thing. Yep, there. Paws picks it up. Saves all the transports. Great job, Baltimore. Great job. My comp's out to Warthog 55-2. Nice job, buddy. Really nice job covering the transports right there. Really nice job. Now Paws is up to 72,000. He's still fairly shy. He's still 100k short of beating the Kaga mark. He has not used any of his heals though. He hasn't used any of his heals on his planes though. Hipper is going in for a torp rush. Shamanto is going in. So that'll be interesting to see how those two fare. Shamanto dumping torps. Mass at this point can just charge straight in and do damage. It does get a double citadel though. It's up to 95,000. But his bombers are practically depleted at this point. Let's hope his secondaries can help get some damage. Hipper does go down, but Hipper does not get the... So that's a pretty bad trade. Massey is pushing in. The secondaries are going in on the Omaha. And that's a lot. Oh, Mass just deletes the Omaha. And he picks up natural selection with 9 kills. Mass is in a very special position right now. He can just sit here and do his job right here. But he needs to kill that. Doesn't get any citadels on that New Mexico, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. Do get some good pen damage, but just no... Well, he picks up the New Mexico to fire, and Mass picks up the Jervis to secondaries. Really good teamwork there. They definitely have enough ability to meet that 1,400 troop transport goal. So that's great. Gets a citadel, a nice 8k salvo there. Yeah, the Baltimore is doing a really good job just sitting there. He's getting those broadside shots in. See, I wouldn't even bother with the Indianapolis because I'm pretty sure the Baltimore... Yep, Baltimore just picks it up right there. And the Shamanto. So there wasn't really no point for that. I get Paws trying to do what he is, but... A general rule for any carrier player, and I'm going to share this with everybody... Always go for usually the full heft targets. If it's like that low and you know there's a cruiser or something that can kill it, go for it. Oh, and they do lose that transport. Mass, they could lose the 1,400 transports. Potentially. Mass has got to kill that anchorage to secure those points. Yep, there they go. So I'm pretty sure they can pick that 1,400 point, that 1,400 soldiers up. Secondaries on his ship going off. Now, if you wanted to do just a complete meme, ship, you could, do secondaries on the Augusta. I mean, I know people do it on the Graf Zeppelin. The Graf Zeppelin just has amazing secondaries. Baltimore picks up the Chappie. And he picks up natural selection. So we have 2 natural selections this game. Pauses that 125,000 damage. It's not bad. That's a pretty good damage. Usually for a carrier and a rye, you want to aim for the 100,000 damage mark. On any op, you want to aim for the 100,000 damage. If you do 100,000 damage on any op, you're doing really great. If you can crack to 200,000, kudos. Excellent job. If you can crack 200,000 a carrier, you're doing an amazing job. But 100,000 is kind of the meat, is kind of the point where is kind of the is a sweet spot for any carrier op. 150,000 is kind of that sweet spot. Now, Paws doesn't have any planes left. I mean, he has basically at this point been deplaned, but the op does end with 130,000 damage. 50,000 short of his Kaga match, but still a good match in Paws. Kudos, Paws. Thanks for the replay.